As you can see, there are some changes around here, but that's not the only one. Come on, boy! Come here! Come here! Yeah! We're gonna be talking about this. Hey guys, OKP has asked me to review the robotic vacuum cleaner, but before I can actually do it, I think it's time to establish my credentials. And how am I going to do that? Give me 1 second. Right, I think you get the point. So, let's open it up and see what is it all about. Battery capacity is 2000 milliamps. I don't know yet how it's going to be translating into how long it's going to run, but this is model K5 and it's sent to me for the purpose of the review. So we have this, kind of what to do. That's a quick start guide, which is handy. We're going to keep it there. And we have a user manual. We have a docking station, which is small. Docking station, powered by side, charging brick, 19 volts. We also have a hoover. Oh, actually a decent amount of spares. That's very nice of them, because we have 1, 2, 3 and 4. It's very difficult to get them out. Cleaning cutting tool and extra filter. And while smaller in diameter, the height of it remains the same. Okay, he's not happy. I'm gonna put it back because he's not happy. I don't think my Yeti likes the idea of being replaced. So, we have a cleaning compartment, which is actually rather generous considering the size of the hoover. We'll see if it has enough juice to actually get the dust from the floor. There is no top camera, so I don't think mapping is going to be possible on here unless there is something underneath this strip. Now we have a nice bumpers in here. No, we actually don't have a bumpers in here, we just have... Is there a sensor in here? I don't know, but there are some fall sensors in here, and actually this is using 2 of those brushing elements. So you click them in here, put one in here, and don't know, in terms of smarts, how much we've got. We definitely have sensors around here that will prevent the hoover from jumping off the stairs. Ah, it didn't fall, it's good. He also didn't, okay, let's see, wow. He has some sensors in front, so he has a non-contact sensors because it just didn't go. But it's pushing my lamp out! So the lamp wasn't enough. Okay, let's stop. Network configuration. Hold start pause button for 6 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Looking through the app, I'm actually surprised because it actually started to draw my table. Now, I guess it uses the distance you travel to generate some sort of map so you have an idea where it's supposed to go. So even though it doesn't have sensors, it seems to be clever enough to figure out where it is and where it's supposed to go. And it has a couple of different cleaning modes, including whole area, along edge and spot focus, so that's interesting. And looking through the third-party access service, you can add this via Tuya to your system, so you'll be able to use your Alexa and Google Home speaker, and then you can have a simple tutorials for those 2, but you also have access to the voice account and password, which I'm not 100% sure what they are for, but it indicates some third-party access levels. I'm going to be reading about it a little bit soon. Right, let's map my house. Come here. I am impressed with the hard floor performance. However, a lot of you, it's not just going to have a hard floor, so we need to test a little bit more. So I've acquired a carpet or rug. Actually, it's a floor, it's a doormat, but it has this nice soft consistency of the carpet. It'll work just fine in the test. In here, I've got two shots. One shot of flour and one shot of sugar, which are gonna imitate sound pretty well. And we're gonna put some on the hard floor and on the carpet and see how it goes. Flour is quite hard to remove because it's light and gets between the bristles of the carpet. But on a hard floor, we shouldn't have any problem. And on this side, we're going to do sugar. Excellent. Sugar is, well, I ran out of sugar. So let's do this. So after the successful clean, there are a couple of things I've noticed. First, it missed a spot. It's not something I actually noticed in a flat, and I think it's only because that area was quite small and Hoover, because it doesn't have a really advanced sensor, didn't exactly know where to go just yet. But looking under the flat, I really didn't find any spots that weren't cleaned unless they were under the furniture. In all the spots that Hoover actually traveled, he was pretty good on the hard floors or desking or table in this regard. However, the carpet performance was slightly subpar. While it did handle the flour, it did struggle with sugar, leaving quite a bit of sugar within the carpet bristles. The section of the Hoover is probably okay, because it doesn't have that mechanical force to actually disturb all the dust before hoovering it up. Well, the performance on the carpet is not as impressive. Do note that I was running this test with the vacuum set to maximum power. In terms of how much you can clean, then, well, I do have in excess of 80 square meters in here, and this is probably about the maximum of what Hoover can do. This will strongly depend on your layout, amount of furniture you have lying around, and difficulty of the Hoover to actually generate the path and, well, coming back to the dock. Now, it runs roughly around 2 hours if you run it in a conservative mode. If you set it to a powerful mode, you probably expect it to get around 80, maybe 90 minutes at best. But to be honest, since the vacuum can come back to the dock, recharge itself and continue cleaning, it's not a massive problem. After cleaning my house several times, I came to the following conclusions. Now, do bear in mind that I have only hard floors, and the only piece of carpet I actually bought it for the purpose of the review, to figure out how good the lack of the brush is going to be on this model. To be fair, I wasn't sure what to expect. The application looked good, however the Hoover doesn't provide you with any really mapping options. It will draw a map of where it's been and where the cleaning is complete, but that's about all you get in terms of mapping functionality. It's mostly because it doesn't really use anything other than the distance traveled via wheels to generate that map. I mean, for the most part, it's alright. I've been having 3 different smart vacuum cleaners with a mapping ability created by LiDAR or video camera, and frankly speaking, I don't really recall using mapping options at all. I just have it on the timer and they just run when I'm not at home. So I was positively surprised when, after having entire floor mopped, I ran this 2 days later to a quite handsome payload in a bin. Let's talk about the smart app a little bit more. I actually like the layout of the app. It's very simple, easy to start, everything is one press away, and, well, forgiving the fact that it doesn't have any mapping, I have absolutely no problem with it. Like I said, the runtime on this is approximately 2 hours thanks to 2000 mAh battery inside, which isn't impressive, but like I said, it's a smaller model. When I was running this, a couple of fun things happened. First of all, I don't have any thresholds to test, so yeah, it drives over the cables and it can knock down photographic equipment, so it has a decent amount of power. And also twice it locked itself in a bathroom. It was unable to return to the dock and died because of the battery. So bear that in mind, it can close the door behind itself, it's powerful enough. However, don't panic just yet, because unlike other brands I covered, OKP has more than one model, which means you can go to the website, have a look, and pick maybe alternative model with more sensors and a little bit more expensive price tag to match your requirements. And speaking of price tag, here's the confusing bit. You could pick it up on Amazon for around 200-ish pounds. But if you go to the OKP website and look for K5, you'll find it almost twice as expensive. I'm not 100% sure why that is, but definitely spend some time looking around for the best deal, because something tells me that they put up the price like this so they could heavily discount it when a promotion comes and entice you into buying a vacuum cleaner. And while I was taking a closer look at the app itself to see what other things I can find it, I came across some weird solution for the voice control, which implicated that you should use Tuya to connect to the voice control. This is confusing, but it gave me an idea. How about actually not using OKP app and trying Tuya to pair it and use the OKP K5 in the Tuya ecosystem? And to my surprise, they paired without any problems, and within the moments I had this working in Tuya mode, generating a map. Granted, I had some options missing, so I wasn't able to check them out once the clean was complete. But yeah, it works. And if you don't want to add another app to your phone and ecosystem, and you already have a Tuya app, you can just go ahead and give it a go. Other options are pretty standard. So you've got your schedules, you've got manual controls, and a couple of different cleaning modes, including Edge, Random, which is, I don't know if that's an option, just goes random direction, and Spot Cleaning, which is gonna make this hoover move in a swirl pattern to clean a spot. But you'll still have to take the hoover to its destination, or at least drive the hoover using your remote, or not remote, the app on your phone to the destination where you want to perform this clean. So it's okay. Like I said, it's a budget solution. There are sacrifices to be made. So what do I think about it? Well, if you, like me, live in a flat and your floor is just plain old flat laminate all around the flat, then something like that would be, to be honest, enough. It goes everywhere, it cleans decently enough, and it should keep the floors clean without you taking control of the hoover. Just set the timer, you'll be quite happy, and on occasion where you want to set the hoover from work, you still have that access via app, and you can perform that via cloud, which is convenient. But that's pretty much everything that you need, instead of spending several £100 on something that will provide you with more options. After all, it's an appliance. All you care really is a clean floor, right? And you want this to run as little as possible, and usually a timer when you're at work is all you need. But don't get me wrong, if you do have a carpet here and there, all it takes is a couple of extra runs to make sure your carpet is being cleaned. So instead of running it once a week, you probably will have to schedule it 3 times a week to keep the carpets clean too. So if you guys are interested, in the description of this video you're gonna find the links to OKP K5, the one I've reviewed today, and a little bit more information about the product. Do check out my written review if you want to get some more pictures. And well, you know this section, I do not have a posting schedule. However, some more videos are definitely coming. So if you want to watch that, then you know how it works. I don't have to explain all of this. Just remember, I have a couple of social media links down below, so you can check them out, follow me there and start a conversation or ask questions about products like this and recommendations. As for now guys, big thanks to OKP for sending me this for a review, big thanks to you for watching, and I'm definitely going to see you in the next video. Take care, bye! It's disadvantages of living next to the hospital. But on the positive side, by getting a heart attack, I'm gonna have a premium treatment. Yes.